This video is for you if you're already using Intelligems to run A/B tests on your Shopify store, but you feel like you're not using it to its best. So I'm going to show you 4 simple things that you can do to really get the most out of Intelligems and really optimize your website, because Intelligems is such an incredible platform. If you have never seen me before, my name is Andy, and I run A/B tests for Shopify Plus brands using Intelligems. I'm actually very honored to be featured on their website's homepage right here. And actually, if you want to reach out to me, you can just type my name, Andy Coste, on LinkedIn, and we'll talk about your brand. You can also find me on their YouTube channel. We actually recorded a podcast with Alex a couple months ago, but let's talk about the video now. First, configure Events Manager, because every week I get people reaching out on LinkedIn asking me to audit their Intelligems account, and every single time I see the same mistake. When I go in Events Manager, there is nothing. So you're probably wondering, why does Events Manager even matter? Because with Intelligems, we can track conversion rate, revenue per visitor, profit per visitor, and a bunch of other metrics, basically all of those, which is a lot. The thing is, when you change something when you're running a test, how do you know how this impacts the scroll depth, how this impacts the number of clicks on a certain element? Literally just how your change impact users' behaviors. Because if you're just tracking add to cart, begin checkout rate, conversion rate, you're going to be missing so many smaller events happening on your website. And really what you want to know when you're running a test, because you're already paying and you're already spending time on this, you really want to know how each changes you make on the website really do impact your customers' behaviors. And this is what custom events are created for, and this is why you have it in Google Analytics. And so what you should do here, I'm going to show you real quick, is either go in your classic on-site editor or your visual builder. It's going to be available very soon to everyone. Let's say I want to run a test on the headline of my website, and I want to know how this influenced the number of clicks we get on Book a Call and number of clicks on view services. Well, what you will do is just click in here, copy the selector, and then you will come back in Events Manager, create custom events. Here, there's a bunch of things you can track. Visit to a specific page on your website, a specific product page, specific collection page. But the two that I really like are element visible and click interaction. So here, obviously, I want to see if during the test, changing the headline get more people to click on Book a Call. So that we're focusing on the micro steps, okay? If we're getting more people clicking on Book a Call, but at the end, we're getting not so many people booking the call, maybe the problem might be in the form, right? But at least if we can optimize the number of people who click on it, then we're going to have more people in the pipeline. So I get the selector here. I click on click interaction, past the selector right here. And then I'm just going to call it clicked on book a call. And so basically, if I add this, in the analytics and I choose add custom metric, I will be able to tell that in, for example, control, after 2 weeks running the test, we had 200 people clicking on the CTA, and in the variant, we had 400. So we have 2 times more. So in this case, I know that I should better use the second headline because it gets more people to click on Book a Call with me. So yeah, if you don't know how to apply this to your website, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. But really, this is so overlooked by most brands, and I cannot tell you how many times I found golden nuggets thanks to custom metrics for my client's website. The second thing is going to require minimal work from you, but it's going to have a tremendous impact in the future. I'm talking about test names. And here I've set very specifically very random names on the test, because every time I audit an Intelligems account, I see this every single time. Like the test names are super random, like SB2, AP Force test, 50/50 PDP. It's like, I'm just thinking, how in the future do you want people to make sense of this mess? Like if you hire a team and they have to go through your test to check what you've done, or if you hire a freelancer or an agency or whoever is going to check your account, can be even yourself, how do you want to make sense of all this mess? So the simple fix here is just to come up with a very simple nomenclature And every single time you launch a test, you apply this nomenclature. So a simple one you can do is start with the page you're testing. So let's say the PDP. Then you put a bar. Let's say we are testing, for example, here the above the fold section. So I'm going to put above the fold. And let's say we are doing a no-offer test. And specifically, we're testing 30% off versus 40% off. So now you see this is very simple. It took me less than 1 minute to come up with. But at least in the future, when you will hire people to work with you, people will be able to make sense of the tests you run in the past. They're going to be able to tell, okay, they have run 10 tests on the product page. They have run 20 tests on the collection page. And it's going to help them so much. And also they're going to be able to tell, okay, have they run tests on sections that don't even get a lot of traffic, or you know what I mean? Like there is so much information just in this short title that you should just apply this to all your tests. And it's not going to take you much time. Then side note, I really strongly recommend you also add a description. Can be just the hypothesis, because Intelligems AI is using this to basically fit itself and then provide you with more accurate and more tailored recommendations. So strongly recommend you add either the hypothesis or either a short line just explaining what you think the test will do. And but at least get the test name right. Third, I want to talk about test validity, because how many times did you had winning A/B test that you then pushed on the website and you saw no impact on your performance? And so then you blame Intelligems, but that's not the problem. Here in the specific example, we're seeing 27% increase in conversion rate. And if you scroll down, we've got 99% statistical significance. But if we scroll down a little further, we can see that the test was run only for like 3 days and a half. And the thing is, that's not how we should run A/B test. This is an account that I audited, and I realized that the agency they worked with was running tests really randomly. Like one test was run for like 3 days, another one for like 5, another for like 9. So the way they work is that they just look at this every single day, and once they reach 90% or 98%, they just call it a day and say they had a winning test. But the reality is that it's not working like this. The way it works is that you should always use a calculator. You can use the one from Spiro, which is the one I use. You will need to add the number of variants. The best is always to have just 2, control and your variation, because the more you add, the more variable it's going to add in the test. And what you need to do is add the number of weekly sessions you have per week on the page that you will test. So I'm going to put 50,000, for example. I'm going to put 800 orders. So here we've got a baseline conversion rate of 1.60%. And we're going to bring down the confidence level to 80% because we're not trying to make vaccines, and we're making business decisions here. So 80% is good. So now we know that if we want to detect a lift of plus 8.25% increase in conversion rate, add to cart rate, like whichever metric which is binary, we will need to wait for at least 2 weeks. If we want to detect 6.75, we'll need 3 weeks. But every expert in the world about CRO will tell you that you should at the very least run the test for 2 weeks. But just calling a test a win just based on what you're saying here is not how it should be done. Like this is just to inform you of what's going on at the time when you're checking the test, because one day you're going to see this and the next day you come back and the 98% has gone down to 50% or 40%. It's going to have a lot of variation. So always use the A/B testing calculator prior to running your A/B test, and agree on the duration before you launch the test. This is so crucial. 4, and this one is by far my favorite because it's going to save you so much money, because for most of the tests, like the majority of the tests you will want to run on your website, you don't need a developer anymore. Because we used to use classic on-site editor for, on-site edit test, but now Intelligems is developing their visual builder. It's still in beta, so it's not yet available to everyone, but Probably by the time you watch this video, you're going to be able to access this feature. And basically, it just looks like Shopify. Like you can visualize your website on desktop and mobile. You can navigate through sections and, interact with the elements. And from there, you can select whichever element that you want to tweak and you want to test. For example, we could test this current version of the website against a version where we hide the secondary link like this. Or maybe I could be tweaking the headline with Shopify plus CRO agency. Whatever you want to do, visuals, copywriting, HTML, like any element, you can hide, you can tweak the code. Like I said, for most things, you don't even need a dev now. It's incredible. Like Intelligems is making it so simple for everyone to test. So like I said, if you have a good SEO strategy and you take care of having like proper test duration prior to launching the test, and you have custom events and you're giving good name convention, like good name nomenclature, plus using the visual builder, I can tell you your SEO program is going to be up there. Like you have every element in your hand. I hope you got a lot of value out of this video. I really hope. If it is the case, please put a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And I'm going to make more content about this because I'm really, really excited with everything that Intelligems is releasing. And if you need any help, please reach out to me on LinkedIn. Cheers.